Hello guys, this is Santosh and welcome to Tech Design. So in this video, I'm going to give you every option that is available in Extruded boss. So extrude is a very basic command that can be used in part modeling in any of the modeling application. So in this video, I'm going to show you what are the different features that are available in the extrude boss command. So I'm not going to discuss on extruded cut. You can see here, this is the extruded cut command, because these two commands are very much similar, and the only difference here is extruded boss, it is going to add the material, whereas in extruded cut it is going to remove the materials. So anyway, in the end of this video, I'm going to show you, demonstrate you what is the difference between these two commands. So now you can see here, this is a simple model I have created in order to show you all the possible way to create extruded boss. The feature that I'm going to cover in this video will be how we can provide a start condition and end condition. So there will be a 7 type of end conditions, and then we are going to discuss on draft and thin feature and selected contours. So without wasting our time, so let's get started. So now you can see here, extruded boss is the command over here, and I have already created the sketch here. So this is the sketch I'm going to use in order to explain you how extruded boss is going to work. Okay, so if you don't have any sketch, you can just go to extruded boss and select a particular plane, and it will take you to 2D sketcher environment. From there you can able to create it and exit the sketch. But here in my case, you can see here already sketch is created. So now what I'm going to do is I'll just go to extruded boss and I'm going to select this particular curve. Okay, so now we are going to discuss on start condition. So once it is selected, you can see here it has been showing the preview of particular extruded, but depending on the input it is already having. Okay, so this is from whatever we have given here, this is going to be our start condition. So this is going to be our start condition, and how we want to give a start condition. Say for example, from a sketch plane. So from sketch plane, if you want a 10 mm, then it will be the result. Okay, from sketch plane. So this is going to be our sketch plane where the sketch is created, and from that plane it will be 10 mm. Suppose if you want to give it as a from surface, so from any surface, say for example, I am going to give from this surface. So from this surface 10 mm will be created. Say for example, from any vertex. So vertex is nothing but it is a point where two edges or two lines or two curves are meeting. Okay, so now you can see here, this is going to be a vertex where these 3 points are coinciding. So I'm going to select this vertex. So you can see here, from this vertex 10 mm extrude will be created. Okay, so the next option will be offset. So offset in the sense, so you are going to give from which distance it should start. Say for example, if I give 2 mm, so it is going to start from 2 mm. You can see here there will be a 2 mm gap between the sketch plane and the start point. Okay, so this is going to be our start condition. So the next will be on end condition. So how we are going to define end condition? So there will be a 7 types of end conditions. So you can see here, I'm going to keep start condition as a sketcher plane. So in the end condition there are 7 types. So what are those 7 types? Blind, through all, up to next, up to vertex, up to surface, offset from surface, up to body, and midplane. So these are the 7 types that are available in the end condition. So we are going to discuss on each and every option, how they are going to behave when you give different kinds of input. So now you can see here, start condition, I'm going to keep it as a sketch plane. So for every option that we are going to change it, the from condition is going to be kept as constant, that is sketch plane. Okay, so now the second end condition will be blind. So blind in the sense, you're going to enter the value, so whatever the value you want. Say for example 100 mm or 200 mm or 300 mm, whatever the value you will give irrespective of your body or irrespective of the feature that is available in front of your model. So it is going to create. Say for example, if I give 100 mm, so it is going to create at 100 mm. You can see here 100 mm. So if you give a 10 mm, it is going to create a 10 mm. So something like that. So it will be creating the way you are giving the value. So you can see here the merge result. So merge result is nothing but whatever this body that is created with this extrude, so it is going to merge with this parent. So suppose if it is mating with this component, this body, so it is going to merge with this body also. So if you want to keep it on, you can just keep it on, but it is always recommended to keep it on, so that whatever the feature that you are going to create, everything will be going to merge into a single body at the end of your extruded boss. So now I'm going to go to second step, that is through all. It is, as a name gives, through all is nothing but it will go through all the features, all the faces that is there in front of this sketch. So now you can see here, this is the body, it is there, and this is there. There is one more extrude and there is a one more extrude. So it is passing through all, and when the end face is there, so this is going to be our end face. So we don't have any other faces apart from this. So it is going to end it at the last face or last model, whatever we have. So through all is nothing but it will go completely through all the bodies, whatever that comes in front of a particular sketch, and it will end at the last body. So you can see here, this is going to be our last body, and it has ended up to this last body, and it is gone through all the bodies that comes under this path. Okay, so now the next option will be up to next. So up to next in the sense, whatever the next body, you can see here, this is going to be our next body or next face, right? So when it comes to our next body, it will stop the extrude. So that is how the meaning of this up to next. And then up to vertex. So up to vertex in the sense, you need to provide one vertex. So I already discussed what is vertex. So now you can see here, suppose if I select this as a vertex, and it is going to extrude along this direction until this point. Okay, vertex. So you can just give whatever the vertex you want, whatever the vertex you have in your model. Okay, so now I'm going to make a up to vertex to up to surface. So up to any surface, say for example this surface, if I give, so until this it will be extended. Suppose if I delete it, you can see if I give this surface, you can see up to this surface it has been extruded. So this is how the up to surface works. So you need to select a surface till what surface you need a extrude. Okay, so now the next option will be offset from surface. So suppose if you select any surface, and from that surface if you need any offset, say I'm going to select this surface, from this surface 10 mm before it should stop. So it should stop 10 mm before. So suppose if you want to give 15 mm, so you can just give 15 mm. Okay, and if you want to reverse the offset, so along this direction if you want to reverse it, so you can just reverse it. So now the extrude is going to stop after this plane, whatever the face we have selected, at 15 mm. Okay, so suppose if you want to make it before, so you can just hit here, you can just switch off this reverse offset. Suppose if you want to give a different surface, you can just give it here, and here as well. If you want after particular face, so you can just reverse offset, switch on the reverse offset. Okay, so the next option will be up to body. So up to body in the sense, here up to surface in the sense you are going to select a surface. So up to body in the sense you need to select a body. Say for example I'm going to select this body. So until this body, you can see here the body face how it looks. So so based on that the shape is going to come for your extrude. So you can select this particular body, and it is able to create a extrude. Okay, so the last option will be mid plane. So mid plane is nothing but it is a symmetric. Say for example if you are giving the 15 mm, so it will have a 15 mm along positive x direction and negative x direction. So now you can see here, so now if I give a 50 mm, you can see here at this direction it will be 50 mm, and at the negative direction it is also 50 mm. So it is going to create a symmetric body. So on the x direction and y direction, negative y direction, with 50 mm. Okay, so the next option is draft. So I think everybody knows about the draft, how we are going to provide a draft. So now you can see here there is a draft option. So you can just click on this draft, and whatever the angle that you want to provide, say for example I will just give 5 mm, so you can just give 5 mm. You can see here 5 mm the draft will be created. So in order to avoid these confusion, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it as blind, and I'm going to reverse the direction. You can see here, so 5 mm draft will be there for 50 mm of length. So even though if you increase the particular distance, and the draft will remain same 5 mm 5 degree for overall length. Okay, so suppose if you want to make a reverse direction the draft, so you can just give it here. So it is going to have a reverse draft. So if you want in a normal way, so you can just give it as normal. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep it as a drop switched off, so just 0 degree, and I'll just switch off this. Okay, so the next feature that I'm going to discuss in thin feature. So now you can see here in the extrude command itself we have a thin feature. So thin feature is nothing but when you switch on this, you're going to get a hollow body. So you can see here the hollow body. If it is a one direction, so from whatever the sketch is there, so it is going to have a 10 mm thin. So suppose if you increase it to 20 mm, you can see the result. So it is going to have an offset with whatever the distance that you provide. So now I'll just keep it as a 5 mm, and it will have a 5 mm of thickness. Okay, suppose if you want to create a mid plane, so mid plane in the sense it is a symmetric. In the both side it will have a 5 mm. You can see the profile here. So this is our sketch, and it is having a 5 mm on the top side and 5 mm on the bottom side. So if I give 10 mm, you can see 10 mm it is having on the both side. Suppose if you want to make a 2 direction 2 mm, so you can see here one is at 5 mm and the other one is at 10 mm. So this is the way how we can create this thin feature. I think mostly this feature is not much useful, so I'm going to switch off this now. And then now we can see here the selected contour. So selected contour is nothing but what sketch or what curve you are going to select for your extrude. So in this case we have already have a sketch, and it is going to select this particular sketch. But in some cases what happens, suppose if you want to select this particular edge, so from a particular already existing face, so you can just select this face. You can see here, so you can see here once this particular body is selected, so it is going to pick the particular face as our selected contour. So using this selected contour, you can already existing face or already existing edges for your extrude. Okay, so this is how the extruded boss works, guys. And now we are going to discuss on what is the difference between extruded cut and extruded base. Okay, so now what we will do, I'll just go to extruded base or extruded boss, and I'm going to select this. Okay, so now you can see here the mid plane and 50 mm everything is same, and I'm going to click apply. So once I give apply, you can see here the body is being created. So it is nothing but it is added a body. So in extruded boss it is going to add a material. So now I'll just hit Ctrl Z, and now I'll just go to extruded cut, and I'm going to select a same curve. Okay, same curve, and I'll just keep it as a mid plane, and I'm going to click OK. So now you can see the material is removed from the body. So this is what the difference between extruded boss and extruded cut. In extruded boss the material is going to add, and in extruded cut the material is going to remove. Only this is the difference. All other features, all other options that are there in the command, everything remains same. Okay, hope you enjoyed this extruded boss or extruded cut command, guys. So if you have any doubts, please comment in the section below. I will try to answer. Thank you, guys.